All right, thanks, Danny. Well, more than 50,000 Arkansas families applied for an Education Freedom account for the upcoming school year.
Yeah, a slight increase from last year. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach joining us live to explain what education leaders say is behind the growth. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Tiffany and Joe. There are multiple schools across the Northwest Arkansas area that participate in EFAs, such as Shiloh Christian in Springdale. This is the 4th year of the program, and it's the 2nd year that it's open to all Arkansas students K through 12. EFAs were created under the Arkansas Learns Act and give families state funding they can use for private school tuition, homeschool expenses, and other approved education costs. According to the Department of Education, the state received 54,000 applications for the upcoming school year, up from just over 52,000 last year. Supporters say the continued growth shows more parents are looking for educational options that best fit their children's needs, and these numbers could shape the future of education in Arkansas.
What it says about the future of education, I think, is that there will be growing competition between public, private, and homeschools to offer a good product to the parent who now has a chance to choose.
What we're doing is working. We need to stay the course and continue investing in our classrooms and supporting parents with high quality choice options.
The department is now reviewing applications. The secretary of ADE says that families can expect to start receiving decisions in early August. Joe, Tiffany, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Claire. At 6:34 this morning, we'll have an update on Tuesday night's fatal shooting in Fort Smith that left a 16-year-old dead.
A second suspect has been identified and arrested by police. Fort Smith police say that Donnie Warner was arrested in LaFleur County and is awaiting extradition back to Arkansas. He has been charged with first-degree murder and aggravated robbery. Now, the original suspect is still at large, Jasmine Johnston. Police say she is considered armed and dangerous. The shooting happened after 6 p.m. on Tuesday in the 5300 block of Elm Street. Well, U.S. officials say that the Trump administration is committed to finding a resolution to the war with Iran.
Yeah, this despite a major escalation this week. The Pentagon says roughly 170 Iranian targets were hit after 2 rounds of strikes, which President Trump describes as retribution for Iran's attack on 3 commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz this week. U.S. Central Command says that the strikes were meant to degrade Iran's ability to threaten the strait. Iran has labeled the U.S. strikes as a war crime, and its forces have launched missiles and drones at U.S. targets in neighboring Arab countries.
This is not anywhere near an end of the war. This is just entering kind of a new phase.
Well, the conflict has sparked enhanced security protocols, including the president's switch in Air Force One planes during his trip to Turkey for the NATO summit this week.
We are taking a live look at the U.S. Marshals Museum in Fort Smith, where leaders plan to make an announcement about a fundraising campaign called A Frontier of Giving. The initiative was launched back in March, focusing on the museum's sustainability and educational reach. The program matches donations to the museum until the end of the year, up to its goal of $12 million. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin is also set to speak at today's press conference, which starts at 10 a.m.
Well, a Bentonville hairstylist turning a life-changing diagnosis into a new business.
After being diagnosed with alpha-gal syndrome, she's now helping others facing similar challenges. Alpha-gal is caused by a Lone Star tick bite that can cause allergic reactions and sensitivities to certain red meats.
After a tick bite, Gracie Krager says she was diagnosed and then experienced migraines, vertigo, fatigue, and rashes. She says certain fragrances and chemicals would trigger reactions. This inspired her to open the Beauty Standard in Bentonville, a fragrance-free vegan salon designed for people with similar allergies and sensitivities.
From sitting in the hospital, not knowing if I was ever going to be able to function, live a normal life again, thinking I would be on a feeding tube for the rest of my life, going through the motions of that to, 3 months later, opening my own salon, having my very own business. I mean, you just can't get much better than that.
She says one of the most rewarding parts of opening the salon has been connecting with clients who face the same disease.